us here on Facebook Live. We had a great show. We have a great audience today, which makes all the difference. And we're going to take some of their questions now. Our first is Denise from Minnesota. Denise, hi. And there's Sally Lou right behind you.
There you go. My question is, who's the most interesting person you've ever interviewed?
Most interesting. Well, I would definitely say that President Trump is up there. He's interesting. Vladimir Putin, he'd be up there. I freaking love Judge Judy, so she'd be up there too. Yeah. Is that a weird trio? Has anybody put that trio together before in U.S. history? So yeah, I'm going to put those down. I love Judge Judy. Have you ever read her book, Don't Pee on My Leg and Tell Me It's Raining? Highly recommend if you have not. A lot of pearls of wisdom in there. All right, Angela from D.C. Where are you? Right here. Hi.
Hi. So I was just wondering, with all the controversy with Donald Trump prior to your show here, were you worried that it was going to interfere in your career? Obviously it didn't because you're here, but did that bother you or
I was worried at the time. Thank you. I was worried at the time that it was going to hurt me because he was, he sent out over 100 tweets attacking me. Even when he was winning, he won the Florida primary and he went out there that night and started ripping on me. It was like, you just won Florida. Why are you talking about me? And so I worried that his most ardent supporters would start to look at me as like this boogie woman, Even when he went into the Oval Office, Steve Bannon was out there calling me the devil publicly. It was like, now you won. You are in the Oval Office. Like, Trump had moved on, but some of his supporters hadn't, even including in the White House. But what I saw, if you had read anything about me online, you would have thought my career was over. But what I saw in my old show is my ratings did this. So while the social media vitriol did this, my ratings also did this, So there's definitely some people, and even on the Kelly File, it's Fox News. We had a lot of Republicans watching Fox News. Not all, but a lot, and a lot of Trump fans. And I wound up seeing that you could be both a Trump fan and a me fan. It's possible to have both of those things in your head simultaneously. But let me tell you, I was very happy when he finally stopped that nonsense. I was very happy. I had no wish to be on the playing field with him and the others. I wanted to be on the sidelines where I belonged. And I didn't want to be the story. I never wanted to be the story. I just wanted to ask him some tough questions at a debate. So I'm glad that's over.
We are too, and we love you.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, wait. Since you took the microphone, yes, you hold it too. I want to talk to you ladies about what I consider to be too hard laughter during my Marine segment. They were laughing at me.
She was handling her business out there. Ladies and gentlemen, wasn't she handling her business?
I was humbled. Trust me when I tell you I was humbled. I couldn't do any of the stuff. As you saw in the piece, I couldn't get over the wall. That one wall where you run and you whip your leg over. I tried it 6 times and then I hurt myself. Thank you. They were, oh my God, they were amazing. The Marines are so tough and they're so young. Like those 4 who I had sitting there, one of them was 18. Really young. And the oldest one was 26, and he's considered like a grandpa. Yeah, at 26, but their bond and their brotherhood, and that includes the women in there too. It was amazing. It was inspirational. Yeah. All right, Debbie from Florida. Where is Debbie? Hi. How you doing?
I'm good. I wonder how we can together make a better movement towards positivity.
Wow, that's like asking for world peace. All I can tell you is I've tried to make a move in that direction, and it isn't easy, and people don't always respond to it well at first, right? Because some people get something out of being mired in negativity, but I think it's the only way. I really think every time somebody throws some hate at you, you have to try so hard to respond with love. Even, you don't have to go hug them or whatever, but just in your head, say a prayer for them, or do something positive in your own life, or just try to put more positive energy out there, and then hopefully that's out there. It's out there and it's going to come back to you, or it's going to come back to your loved ones, because I feel it too, how divided we are, how we demonize one another. And it's a little soul crushing, and it's not how it used to be. I don't know. I know we always used to have partisan differences in this country, but it just doesn't seem like we were always quite this divided. But that's one of the reasons that this show was born, is because I said I really think that I used to be in the business of outrage, and now I'm trying to get into the business of joy. And the way I hope you're all feeling after having been here for this hour and watched the show and experienced it firsthand, which is just kind of, this is how I feel anyway, I hope you're feeling, like, good, had fun, learned something, maybe feel a little bit more empowered, hopefully, more informed. That's what I'm trying to do here, and I think in your own personal life, when somebody attacks you, whether it's on Facebook or a friend or, a coworker, whatever it is, if you can just take a moment, because 9 times out of 10 when they do that, what they're doing is about them. It's not about you, right? And just try, I don't even like to call them haters. There's that saying, which is kind of good, which is haters hate up. But I don't really even like to call them haters, because even that is perpetuating the, it's like people go through a lot of things. And when people criticize me, it's not all valid, but I try to say, you know what, at some level, whether it's not in this particular instance, I probably deserve it. So, and it's not like I'm trying to beat myself up. I just try to, it helps me not think, poor me, people are mean and unfair. I think that term unfair, I hate the term unfair. I think that kind of thinking is very damaging. And in fact, we have a system in our house now, like each of my kids has his or her own little foible, and Doug and I have ours too. Mine is swearing. And each of us has to put money into our little jar if we engage in our problem. And one of my children begins all these sentences with, it's not fair, it's unfair when, and so that requires a deposit into the jar, because that kind of thinking, it's damaging.
We're not allowed to say it.
Yeah, that's good.
I refuse that. I point out the home you have, the family you have, the love you have, all of the creature comforts, all the support, all of the everything you need in life to succeed on a real level. And you're not allowed to say it's not fair.
That's right.
Because there are kids who are born with nothing, with no love, no support system, no education, no prospect, and no one who cares.
Right.
And you have everything.
And these kids, my kids, I don't know your kids, but these kids are so far ahead of the game, on birth. It's like, I don't want to hear that word from you ever.
No.
And frankly, even if it is unfair, because sometimes life is, I believe it's damaging to think about life like that. I know it sounds cheesy and new agey, but it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity. And for me, that kind of thinking has done worlds for me. It's just made me sort of stand a little taller and be a little stronger. I love that scene. Have you seen Jerry Maguire? The movie Jerry Maguire? It's not that I identify with this character per se, but I love this scene where Tom Cruise tries to break up with Kelly Preston. They're dating in the movie and they're engaged, and he tries to break up with her, and she's this ball-busting kind of ah. And she's like, oh, Jerry. And he's like, oh, don't cry. And she turns around and she punches him in the face. And she says, you can't hurt me, Jerry. I'm too strong for you. And I think if you can think about that as opposed to unfairness, you'll do better. All right, Sharon from Texas. Where are you, Sharon? Hi.
Hi, Megan.
How's it
Way up
going?
here.
Hi, welcome.
You just had this great fashion show, and being from Texas, I was just wondering, I'm sure you've been to Texas, but when you went to Texas, did you wear cowboy boots?
Oh, I bought cowboy boots. Yes, I loved them so much I bought myself a pair. I used to spend a lot of time down in Texas. When I first started practicing law, I worked for a firm who was based in Dallas. So I was in the Chicago office, but I went down to Dallas all the time. And I love Texas. I bought my husband and myself all sort of Texas paraphernalia, which we wear all around New York City and confuse people. But yeah, so I got myself a pair of cowboy boots. I will tell you one thing. I remember going to a black tie event down there, and I had to get my hair done. And the woman was teasing it up and up and up and up and up. And I said, it looks a little big. And she said, oh, honey, she goes, I gave you Texas hair. You should have said so if you wanted Chicago hair. So the boots, yes. The hair, I don't know. Well, it depends on my mood.
Not so much on the hair, huh?
If you saw the prom picture, I was channeling
Well,
it.
I saw you made some interesting fashion choices.
I did,
so
I did. I had no fashion. Can I tell you, even to this day, I always say, if you want to see me looking good, tune in between 9 and 10. Other than that, I'm probably going to be in Lululemon with very little makeup on, and my hair is always back in bobby pins. That's all I do. I don't care. It's like, this is all I have, and it takes a team of people. Enjoy it for those 60 minutes. You guys have been amazing, and thank you all at home as well. That's going to wrap it up for today, and we'll see you tomorrow, same time.